don't fit yourself in a box to fit other people's standards. I think it's easier said than done, but there's always ways to make money. And I just focus on that versus like trying to be this type so tight for modeling. It's like if I don't get the job wasn't meant for me, and I'm not gonna bring that energy. It's just not my job. It's not my job to have.
Welcome back to the For Her Kind podcast, where we explore what it really takes to build lasting strength, health, and confidence from the inside out. I'm Dr. Elisa, the founder of For Her Kind.
And I'm Christina, FHK coach and partner. Whether you're folding laundry, on a walk, or taking a breather, we've designed this podcast for you to tune in and feel inspired.
Yes, and today we're joined by an incredible woman who's been on a powerful journey of transformation. She has been in our community since day one, and she has attended not one, but two For Her Kind retreats. The first one was in Lake Simcoe in summer of 2023. And then most recently last weekend, our Utah retreat. And she took part in the photo shoots that have marked both of these life-changing experiences.
Yes, and her energy is absolutely contagious. She can light up a room and always has everyone laughing. Binta is not only a beautiful soul, but she's also been on a journey of growth, confidence, and learning to embrace herself for who she really is. So we're so excited to dive into her story today and hear how she's evolved.
Please welcome Binta, content creator, model, everyone's fashion inspo, and so much more. We're so excited to have you here today. Would you like to start by introducing yourself?
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's always like an honor to be asked to be on a podcast. So this is, I think, I had a podcast for a brief stint in COVID, but this is the first podcast that I have ever been a guest on. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys today. So a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Ottawa. I moved to Toronto in 2017 to kind of pursue my dreams of being in the entertainment industry. I felt like I was living in Ottawa, working in the government, and I was just kind of over that. I was really miserable. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to be miserable, I better be pursuing my dreams doing so. So I just moved. I started working in hospitality, where I feel like I really kind of broke out of my shell and became a little bit more comfortable with myself, more confident in my boundaries. I think working downtown Toronto, you definitely get a lot of people that are, pushy or entitled, or you just got to stand firm. So I really feel like that helped me come into my own. And then alongside my career in hospitality, I've been pursuing a career in entertainment. So I am a model. So I have an agent right now, and I'm signed with Lid Drew. I've been with them for about 2 years. And then I also do content creation. So I feel like as a creative, my background is in interior design. And I'm always just looking for a way to like creatively express myself, and content creation was kind of the perfect outlet.
Love that. Yeah, I love following everything you post on Instagram. It's the best. Um, so because you did just come back from the Utah retreat, I definitely want to dive into that because it's obviously very fresh. And I didn't get to attend this year, so I need the DL on the trip. How was your experience?
The trip was really good. I feel like I didn't really have any expectations going into it. I knew that I was going to leave feeling like inspired and be surrounded by a great group of women. I also secretly really wanted to spend some one-on-one time with Elisa, which was so lovely, and just seeing her in I guess her homeland and
New homeland.
new homeland. And I just really, what was like calling to me, like I love the desert, I love the scenery, but also I knew that there would be some really great experiences, some great women that I know are part of the community that I would get to connect with outside of the chat. So that was really enticing. And it was really just like a healing opportunity to get to know a little bit more about myself, to get to know more about other women. And it's always so funny, like, especially being a content creator, everybody's life looks a certain way online. And then when you get to connect with people, I feel like everyone just kind of came in with like their walls down, and we all really were able to connect on a deeper level because we all have like a shared goal, and we're all, fitness, health, weight loss can sometimes be very personal, and not everybody is wanting to talk about it. I feel like before, like people would never openly like say how many times they worked out or what they were doing in the gym. It was always kind of like you just did it. So it was nice that we were all coming in like open and just chatting. And it's more like I love the community aspect because it's everyone just wants to help each other. Like, oh, did you try this? Oh, have you tried this workout company? Like they have the best workout sets. This is it. And so it was just like a bunch of women with we're all kind of the same. So it was great.
Mhm.
It was so great. And I even learned so much. I just bought the Catalina Crunch high protein. Um,
Oh,
like little, I don't even know what it's called. It's kind of like a granola variation. It kind of looks like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but
okay.
I got
What
some.
is it, cereal?
It's like it's kind of like a cereal. Yeah, it's beside the granola at the grocery store, so that tells you that it is. But it's
Yeah.
like little like Chex Mix looking things, but they're 11 grams of protein per serving.
Yum.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, ladies. So I'm
Yeah.
learning so much from the community too. And yeah, like Binta was saying, it was just so nice. Like everyone had their guards down, everyone's just super authentic and vulnerable. And I even had some women just being like, as if like we're getting along so well. Like this is the best. I'm like, yeah, of course. When you surround yourself with women with, similar values and you're in a space together, of course it's going to be a great experience. So I am so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to make an effort to prioritize it. And yeah, your energy. I'm just so grateful for you being there. So thank you. And also proud of you and your progress because yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's been a journey. So you're doing great.
Yeah, no, it was great too. Like my roommate for the weekend, Jill,
I was calling them Jinta. Like I could not get their names because they were roommate room together. I was saying Jinta or the whole time. I was like Jinta Jill. I was like, I need to I can't figure
yeah,
it
I mean, we were really one, so that's fine. But one of the makeup artists there was like, "Oh, have you guys been friends for a long time?" I was like, "I met her yesterday." They're like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, we literally met yesterday." But it's funny because on the way, like in Vegas on Thursday morning, I saw her on the strip and I was like, oh, I love her sneakers. She's so cute. She has such a
out.
unique haircut. And I just like walked by her and I was like, oh, she looks like she kind of was giving me like sincerely Jules energy, like this like OG blogger. And then so funny when I met her at the pool, I was like, oh, were you walking down the strip? She's like, yeah, I wanted to compliment your hair. It was so nice and like blowing the wind. I was like, I was gonna compliment your sneakers. I was like, I've never seen the Sambas this color.
I
So
have
it's so
goosebumps.
funny. Yeah, it was, I was like, as if, like, what are I mean, the chances are like the universe is so magical, so very high, but it was just really like a confirmation. And then we were like, yeah, I love you. Like, it was so great. So,
Besties.
yeah.
I love that. I will say there is something so magical, but when I mean, like if you're meeting at the airport and all the girls are starting to come together, the first day nobody knows each other, and they're like, it's almost like a blind date. Like,
Yes.
I met the girl, I think that's what she looked like in the chat, and like
Like
you
the
can
little
kind
picture, like,
of, yes. But honestly, it's so fun even picking who like is gonna room together.
mhm.
Obviously, I didn't get to participate in this round, but because as coaches, we all know you guys on a different level. And then we're like, okay, you know what? I feel like she's gonna jive with so and so. So let's room them together. And then we end up seeing you guys just all get along. And we're like, I don't know, it feels like this little like magical potion that we've just put into a room.
No,
So fun.
it worked. So, whoever, I think Laura was like, yeah, I knew you guys would get along. I was like, okay, perfect.
So
Yeah,
good.
so good.
Yeah, filled with harmony. So it's awesome. Okay, we want to do a quick little rapid fire, warm up rapid fire. First thing
Right.
you packed, Minta.
My first thing I packed was probably my dinner outfit.
Love it. For the Friday, rusted cactus.
True vintage fashion. I was like, I had a bunch of workout sets. I knew what I was wearing, but my fruit outfit was probably the first thing. I was like, I know exactly where you're coming out.
I love it. Okay, one word to describe your retreat experience.
Blissful.
Blissful. I like it. Your go-to hype song before the shoot?
I think it's called Wham or anything by Shabuzi. I'm like literally I should be running his fan club because like I got everybody on, everyone's like, he has more than one song. I was like, he has an album. Let me show you. I went to the concert.
I went to this
Uh,
concert too in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so good.
He's
What is
great.
it? Yeah, Wham by
No, we have to.
it's by ASAP Ferg.
Oh, love him.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to that after. Maybe might
Yeah.
no. I'll put it on my dinner.
Any day you got anything in there for your butt, that will get.
Ooh.
Love that tip. I love that tip. Okay, actually, funny side story from the Shibuzi concert is we almost didn't get into it
Oh my
because
gosh.
Ryan's account was somehow linked to his ex-wife's name.
Uh,
It's like obviously we're 2 hours behind, and I'm like, wait, and she needed to give like verbal approval or something. I'm like, there's
yeah.
no way that we're calling her at 11 p.m. on like a Wednesday night to be like, hey, we're at the Shibuzi concert. Can you give confirmation?
You need to get it.
Yeah, we need to get into the Shibuzi concert. Anyways, we ended up getting in. It was all good. We bought a new ticket.
Okay.
But
Good.
okay, and then last thing, most unexpected thing you loved about Utah, other than swig.
So good. I feel like the horses, the equine therapy.
Yeah, that was
I
so
feel, yeah, it was really good, but I was nervous just because I have a horse like a hay allergy and like an animal allergy. So it's kind of just like I hope it's like enjoyable. That's like the only thing I was like worried about. That I was like, what if my eyes like swell shut? Because that had happened. And I was like, it's just like not enjoyable and I'll have to sit in the car. So I was just like nervous going in, and that was like so amazing. And I ended up getting a horse who has like a similar personality to my dog, which was like, of course,
Mick, little
Mick.
Mick,
I got a mini pony. I sent it to my mom and I was like, my horse therapy. And she goes, I fear that's a pony.
the pony. It's not a horse.
I know it's not a horse. And I was like, but he has the energy of a horse. So please don't let him hear you.
Don't let him hear you. Yeah, equine therapy is one of those things where everyone's asking me like, okay, what to expect? Like, what is it? And I'm like, honestly, you just have to show
Yeah.
and experience it with an open mind, and it ends up being you
Even
can't.
when you look it up. Yeah, even when you look it up, I was kind of like every video was something different, but like I was like, am I gonna be on a trail? Am I gonna be like giving like a horse is gonna be giving birth and like I'm there? Like what is gonna happen at this? And it was like every video was something different. So I was like, you know what? I guess I just have to go and we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And just for the listeners, like I'm not going to give it all away, but just in case you don't know what equine therapy is, because most people don't, is there's a therapist there, or technically not a therapist. She's like an energy worker, healer, obviously very good with horses. Julie is a legit cowgirl.
Mhm.
But you are given an activity to do with the horses. And the activity that I did this retreat was completely different to the one that we did last retreat. And you just kind of go through the activity and then you sit down in a round circle. Of course, it's round. You sit down in a circle with everyone and you literally just start talking about your experience during the experience. And Julie knows the horses really well. So she explains, if they react or we're acting in a certain way, like what that means and things like that. And just so much comes up. And it's really, really cool. The best part about it is even though you had your own experience, everybody else's experience are also a learning experience for you and also healing for you as well. So you're taking in it's kind of like, depending on the group size, say 13 of you, 14 of you, 14 opportunities to heal in one session. That's why there's so much power in having a group. So
Mhm.
super
And
cool.
also, if you get like two people, I think had the same horse and had very different experiences. So it's very unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
was,
I honestly, I've always wanted to try it. I feel like I need to find one here in Toronto.
I have looked it up. There are some.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially around you, like that doesn't,
There's so many.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
There is
definitely
somebody doing some horse healing around you. I can guarantee that for a fact.
I gotta look it up.
She has muscle testing too. So it's like everything combined it's just
Hmm.
you get so much from it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this inspires some of the listeners to go check it out.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Or sign up for a FHK retreat.
Yeah.
Because Julie, so
Does that mean the next one's going to be in Utah again, Elisa?
yeah, so we're gonna do another one in Utah. And then I'm gonna do some research for Hawaii. I think I'm gonna have to like go there and like scope, like
If
scout
you need
out.
someone to like scope out Hawaii with you.
Yes,
Come
noted,
on.
noted. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like get on some Facebook groups and ask for like the best healer.
Islands and it was so funny because we were the last day, Maggie, Laura, and Jill and I were talking about like we're like we should go on a trip. And then I was like, well, I have a one hotel discount. So wherever there's a one hotel, like we can use a discount.
Yeah.
And then we were like, Hawaii. And then we get in our Uber and the Uber driver's like, I'm like, oh, how are you? Are you native to Vegas? Because, I love to chat. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm from Hawaii. I was like, of course you are.
Signs. We love signs.
Yeah. I was like, of course. So yeah, I'm like no longer surprised by like life anymore. Like it's just, I'm like, of course, of course, of
Of
course.
course. Of
Yeah.
I
course.
love that. Okay, so as we said earlier, Binta, you also attended the Lake Simcoe retreat. This was a bit of a different one, right? At the time, well, this was a local one. I would say Elisa was living in Toronto. I was here. So it was a lot of girls from Ontario that attended. And yeah, totally different retreat. But what was that like for you? And especially even thinking about like, going into that photo shoot, how you prep for it, and then even comparing it to this photo shoot.
I think for me, the main thing that like really changed over those two like photo shoots is my mindset and my habits. I feel like before I was doing FHK, but I wasn't really making like actual like lifestyle changes. And
Like what? Like how so? What was
I
different?
feel like I was like still going out and like drinking and not being like mindful of like, how many glasses of wine I had. And like I was still like living and I was losing weight because regardless, like the changes in FHK, you will like see a difference. Just wasn't at the speed in which I'm like losing weight now and how I'm able to like maintain it. So before I feel like my habits weren't actually like the habits I have now. I feel like now I'm like, okay, well, if I have this, like that means like somewhere else, I'm gonna like not have something else possibly. Like, everything's a choice. So I'm just like more mindful and I adjust accordingly. And I make like I plan. Before I didn't plan. It was just like the day arrived and the food arrived, and I was like, well, I guess I'm eating this. So, and I just wasn't making like actual changes. And I feel like now, like I've almost lost like 30 pounds, which I feel like amazing and like it's crazy. I'm like, and I still am like on the journey, but I feel like my body looks so much different. I'm so much like happier in my skin. I felt like at the last retreat, I was like not as confident and comfortable in my body, but because I like was working also through stuff with myself and like looking at, I think too, like my mindset really shifted of like, I get to do this and I'm like, I feel good when I'm doing it and I'm following the program and I'm making like healthy choices and I'm sleeping and I'm working out. I feel so much better rather than like I have to do it. And I think that was what kind of where the shift was. And I feel like a lot of like living in a city, I sometimes like struggle with like there's literally always something to do and there's always a meal to eat and there's always a drink to be had. But now I'm like, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I'm maybe going to bed earlier than I did before because I want to wake up and like I want to go to the gym versus I wasn't like I was like I have to wake up tomorrow and go to the gym and I didn't love it. And now I can say like my habits like really have changed and I feel like I've just shifted overall like my mindset of like who I was from then till like now.
Mm. So it's funny because of course I think the three of us really understand the downtown
Yeah.
lifestyle, especially working in hospitality. Um, that really plays a big role into what your lifestyle can look like.
Mhm.
It can go of either direction, like
Yeah.
um and I think too, like I think you were single too at the time, right? I feel like being single sometimes can well, no, Benta. I think being single can play a really big role into how we lead our lifestyle as well, because all these things come into play, right? It's like you have more time to see friends and you're having more spontaneous events to attend. And yeah, it all just kind of it does really add up. So it's not even just that, okay, like you can't have drinks and you can't eat that meal or anything like that. It's just that it can it can get out of hand almost.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's the best way to
Yeah.
kind of explain it.
Well, yeah, and too, like the FOMO, it's like if I don't go this time, I might miss out on this experience or meeting this person or meeting that significant other. So that's a
Yeah.
big thing too.
Yeah. And I think too, like I was also like, I was going to a ton of PR events. Like it was coming out of COVID and like there was, it feels weird that like COVID was like still 2023, but like it was like, I feel like events were just starting to like get back for like PR companies. And I was like, oh, I've like missed so many for like this long or whatever. And like, I want to go out and network and meet people. And so that mixed with working in hospitality. And then as soon as the sun comes out in Toronto, it's like, I got to be on a patio. I got to be somewhere. And I feel like I no longer feel or that like fear. And I also feel like too, like being single before I was like, oh, this is like where I can meet someone. And I'm like, now I'm like, I want a man who's like, I don't even know what the inside of that establishment looks like because I never leave like, like he's just like at
Yes.
home working, like that is what he is doing. He's like, oh my God, it's my birthday. That's the only reason I'm out, or something like significant. Like I was like, where I was hanging out before, like I don't need a man that is out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think too, like my expectations of a partner kind of changed, and that kind of made it a little more freeing for myself of like, I don't have to be out all the time because I also don't want somebody that like is out all the time. Like I want to hang out at home, watch a show,
Yeah.
go to bed early.
Yes, and you will end up like attracting what you desire, right? And how you show up.
That's huge. It's like a full identity shift in itself. And just
Hmm.
even you just reflecting on your progress, like, yes, you were seeing changes at that first, like you saw changes leading up to that first photo shoot, but were you truly living in alignment with your desires? Like, no, not really. And then it reflected and you were feeling even better at that second photo shoot. And then also too, like the comparison. So we can't compare our journey to anyone else's because look at all the things that you were navigating.
Hmm.
Right? And that has been your journey. So it's just really cool to reflect on all the growth. And it is a process. It's not just an overnight thing. So it's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also too, I think um like going into Utah too, it's like you look up some of the people online, it's like, yeah, comparison is always the thief of joy. Like be the best version of yourself from your previous self, but you don't need to like, oh, why isn't my life like this person? Because then when we did the equine therapy and we like even let our walls down even more, I'm like, oh, so many people are struggling with the same things that I'm struggling with. And but then looking at like, I mean, social media is like nothing, but looking at somebody else's profile, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm sure she, has those off days too. It's like, no. It's like, so it's nice to like that's what I really enjoyed, just like connecting with everyone, and it made us even like more of like an FHK sisterhood because I'm like, oh, I'm not alone and I'm not the only person who thinks that way, or I'm not the only person who feels that way. And yeah, I think too my like love for my body too has really like shifted a lot. So
I
yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Like just taking a moment to be like, this body has carried me and has transformed me from this version of me to this version of me. And I would not have that. I would not have this current version of me without that previous version of me.
Hmm.
Right. So lots of love there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what's funny, Binta, is looking back at that retreat, and I don't know if Elisa even remembers this, but like I I felt so honored that I got to meet you because, and I feel like this is cheesy, whatever, but
We like it. We
I
like it.
admired your confidence. And the fact that you just said that you felt like you weren't very confident there shocks me because I was like, Binta is like the coolest, most confident girl ever. She brings so much energy into a room. She doesn't give an F about what anybody thinks. She can put an outfit together in like flawless and make it so spunky. You just like, I remember when you were doing your outfit changes, you all of a sudden just came out in this like in the FHK like green shirt. You just like so happened to have a matching skirt for it. And I'm like, I gave you a freaking popsicle and you just rocked it. So I don't know. I
Well, I
mean,
appreciate hearing that. I think it is one of the things that I'm now finding like a lot of people find surprising about me is that I'm like, to a certain degree, I don't care. I feel like I've gotten much better, especially like posting online and whatnot. And I'm kind of like, if you care, then you can start paying my bills. Like, that's like my mindset of like, well, this is how I make money or this is how I express myself. And if like you have a problem with it, then like, okay, then I'll just get Visa to forward the things to your place and you can take care of that and I'll never post again online. But I feel like if you like, I just stopped, I don't know why, but I kind of just stopped caring in that sense. And I'm really trying to carry that energy and be like more authentically myself. Like I've kind of, I feel like my personality growing up was, I was always like, like I'm creatively very smart. I'm very intellectual. I think a lot. I listen to a lot of different podcasts. I read a lot, but like do not bring a science problem for me to solve. Do not bring a math equation my way. And I feel like in school that was kind of, I always didn't feel like my talents were I always kind of resented myself because my talent, like I love to talk. So, I always got told to be quiet. And so I just kind of like got like more in my shell. And then working in hospitality, I like really feel like I came into my own and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be okay with being the loud one. I'm going to be okay with the one who says something. I'm going to be okay with just being more authentically myself. And I'm much happier because I'm not like suppressing who I am.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate hearing that because I'm like, okay, it's like, it's working, like sometimes it's a fake it till you make it. But I think that just embodying, like being proud of who I am and feeling more confident in my skin and my body, it really has just like helped me bring my personality more to the forefront for everybody to see when they first meet me versus like, I'm always pleasant. I'm always like going to talk to people, but maybe people won't get like the full me. And now I'm like very confident and happy to show up as that version of myself.
I love that so much. And like you said, fake it till you make it. That's a real thing. That's literally neuroplasticity. Like
Yeah.
repeating behaviors, repeating actions, repeating thoughts and words until it really manifests. So it's so cool. And you've done a lot of work as well, like in the realm of self-growth and healing and things like that.
Yes. And it's like nice because I feel like before it was like reading a lot of the stuff and then it wasn't going anywhere. Like I was like, okay, think different thoughts. Okay, I have a new thought, but like I still have these negative thoughts. And I really think that I mean, this is the space for it, but I went and saw a psychic and she was like, I can't, because I was like, I'm always trying to look for my purpose. Like, I'm always like, what is my purpose on life? Like, I feel like I need to live my purpose 100% every single day. I need to be in my purpose, in alignment. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy. And she was like, I can't tell you what your purpose is. I don't see any path. And I was like, oh, it's bad. You can't see a path. Things are rough. This woman sees the future. She's like, no path, lady. Circle back. She was like, I can't see a path because you have so much going on in your head, so many voices, so many things. She's like, I'm sure you find it extremely overwhelming. And I was like, I do. Like, I talk all the time. I think all the time. I'm really like living in my head. And from that, I started to go, she's like, you need to go to therapy because like you need to like really figure out how to like manage your thoughts because that's what's like weighing you down right now is like you have a lot of things going on. And I was like, okay. So then I went and saw a therapist and I feel like that with FHK really like compounded to get the results that I've been like striving for years that I've been trying to do in personal development. But it was like, okay, I'm showing up in the physical world, like going to the gym, taking care of my body, putting nutritious foods in my body, sleeping, prioritizing that. And then at the same time, I'm like working on my mind, showing myself compassion, like showing up for myself. And those like have exponentially like moved me along in my journey. And then full circle when we were in Utah, saw a medium, and she was like, you have a lot of things going on in your mind, but you know how to manage it. And I was like, sick. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is amazing. I was like, okay, she's like, it's not overwhelming for you. She's like, you're not going to be a person who like meditates for like an hour in silence, because you need noise, because that's what like how you think best. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Cause like she's like, walking and doing a meditation, that's for you. Listening to a podcast, listening to something, that's for you. And I always just kind of felt guilty about it. Like I'm like, I should be like Gandhi, like on this chair, like enlightenment, and like I need silence. And it really just was like the confirmation of all the work that I've been putting in. I'm like, wow, it's paying off. I'm like, I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
Doing
Yeah.
it.
I actually really like how that got brought up. Because sometimes I find I tell clients, block out the noise, like go, like shut the door, turn the music off, turn the light off, and actually meditate. And for some people, like there needs to be a little bit of movement, or there needs to be a little bit of noise. Like I know for myself, I need to sometimes go to Starbucks and be surrounded by other people to get
Mm-hmm.
work done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, know thyself. Do you guys know your environments in human design? This will be on a later podcast with Britt, but do you know your environments?
I think mine is a mountain.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a mountain too.
Yeah.
Tina, you're not a mountain.
No, I'm not a mountain. Funny enough, I
Oh.
know my partner's a mountain, but I can't remember mine. No, mine's a
There's
cave.
there's
Mine's a cave, I think.
digestion also digestion might be helpful in this case too, but aspects of human design, when you learn them, it actually tells you how you can process information better, or maybe even like reflect or get clear or work better. And that's why I'm excited for that podcast, because I really believe everyone should know their human design. We actually did a little round circle last Sunday night during the retreat with Britt, because Britt and I are both being certified right now. And
that.
it was really cool to see. Someone was like, it was just reflecting back on, or circling back to you saying that like you need more noise, and
Mhm.
that is a thing. Not everyone needs to process things in the quiet or meditate in the quiet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could also, I like looked at my son's human design, which is so cool because I feel like I like insight as to who he's going to be.
Yeah. And even just like how to communicate, I think too. It's like certain people need, that's why I'm like, I love astrology, I love human design, because I just like helps me understand people more. I think too, like working in sales or like life, like I'm always like, what's your like motivation? And so I love knowing like people's horoscopes, because I feel like I know a good amount about it, but I'm like, oh, okay, I know how like you're gonna respond to this information, or like
Yeah.
how you are gonna process it, or how to persuade you to see
Yeah.
my opinion is right. But no. But I think it's just like helpful and how to communicate. So I like love that, because I feel like as like our parents, it was like definitely like a different generation, but like sometimes me and my mom butt heads, because I'm a Virgo, so I'm very black and white thinker. Like it's either right or it's wrong. And my mom is she's Libra, so the scales, balance, gray, everything's gray. And it would drive me absolutely insane, because my mom's like, well, you never know where they're coming from. I was like, absolutely not. Like, cut them at the hip, like, cut them off. They're dead to me. Never speak to them again. And my mom is like, well, compassion. And it would like literally boil my blood. And now I'm like, well, okay, I understand why you think that way. It's also a better way to live. My way is not the right way.
Well, and it's just like they're tools, right? Tools to not only know yourself, but to know others,
Mhm.
and reduce resistance to conflicts, and also just be able to like flow better through life. And compassion, like you mentioned, compassion. When you
Mhm.
understand why someone is maybe reacting a certain way or behaving a certain way, you can have compassion. And then there's, again, less conflict, less resistance, more understanding, more harmony. So a little off topic, but I always love coming back to these things because it's just so helpful.
Well,
Mhm.
it's also a way of to just be open. Like
Yeah.
as we grow older, we get so stuck in our ways, Binta, even, you say that is your nature, but we get so stuck in our ways. And, even to think about the older generation, like they would not be going to therapy. They would not like,
Mhm.
it's great to see so many women who aren't afraid to come on a podcast and say, yeah, I go to therapy. But when you look at like your human design and do all these kinds of things, it's fun to just be open to be like, oh, you know what, maybe that is why I think that way. Or, hey, I didn't realize, but I actually, do need that busy space to get work done. I never actually learned that, like knew that about myself. Um, so yeah, so it's just like about being open and constantly trying to grow and change in certain ways, when it's needed.
Getting
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Why do I act the way that I'm acting? And is there a better way that would serve myself and others?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Love that.
Okay.
So should we dive into a little bit of this reflection circle at River Rock? I don't know what River Rock is. I don't know what the reflection circle is. So let's hear about it.
Yeah, so River Rock, it's basically a coffee shop with this amazing view that we took the girls to after the Molly's Nipple hike. And we did like a little reflection circle. Britt had the ideas of the questions, and we kind of already touched on this, but Binta shared something really beautiful about the experience. Basically, she mentioned how it was so cool to see everyone who was making a conscious effort to work on themselves, and how no matter how perfect someone might seem, everybody has their own struggles, and it's just been really powerful to come together and support one another. Would you mind expanding on that?
Yeah. I think it was definitely during like equine therapy when we were all kind of sharing where we're at, how we're feeling, and like our experience with the horses. So my how I felt was um that I took the easy way out with my experience and that I don't want other people to think. So essentially the activity we did, we had to like complete it, and I used a motivator for a horse. I used the hay to help me complete the activity. And I was like, okay, well, I guess like is using the hay to motivate the like to get the horse to say negative or positive. I personally took it as a negative, that I was like I couldn't get the horse to focus and like, all this stuff. Like I think I watched like what is it? What is Yellowstone like once. Like I don't know why I thought like I was just gonna come and be like this magical like horse like healer. At the end I was, but I just felt like I was like, oh, I took the easy way out. And then when we talked about that, it was like that was my perception and how I didn't want to be perceived. And I went kind of towards the end. So I was like, as everyone was talking, I was like, oh, that's kind of how I thought. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling that too. And we're all just sharing our different experiences. And it was really powerful because the first day, we were just meeting, and then we did our medium one-on-one. So it wasn't like I got to hear everybody's like backstory. And then we go into the shoots and everyone looks amazing. We're all super confident. We all have these great outfits and we're taking photos, we're getting glam. And so it's like, you're just like, oh, wow, everyone's like super fabulous, super gorgeous, so talented, has these great jobs, like absolutely killing it. And then I'm like, okay, I guess like just maybe I'm the loser or whatever. And that's my negative self-talk. We're working on it. And then when we go to equine therapy, I'm like, oh, wow, this person also struggles with sometimes feeling like people don't show up for them. Oh, this person is also struggling with not feeling like worthy. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like like, despite when you just see a photo, like we all are going through the same thing. And I think that was so beautiful. Like, regardless, we've all lived very different lives and we all are kind of working through the same things at different angles.
Mhm.
And it just made me feel like so much more comfortable. I think sometimes like as women we like want to present and we don't want to feel weak and whatnot, but talking about our struggles and what things we're working on really is just like so vulnerable and so beautiful. And it also gives other women the space to feel like, oh, that's okay. That's okay that I'm like, you know, I didn't go to Utah at my exact goal weight, but that's okay. I'm working on it. I'm on a journey. I look great right now. I can still be confident and I can still love myself right now and still be working towards a goal. So I think that was kind of what I got to leave with the most, which was great.
So good. And yeah, I mean, it's a lifelong project, right? We're
Mhm.
always working on ourselves in some shape or form. And I loved what you said, just to go back on you saying, oh my gosh, I'm taking the easy way out, trying to, bribe my mini horse with hay. And that's just perception, because really, and what Julie was saying is like, actually, or maybe you were just being resourceful. But as women, we tend to, diminish our actions and behaviors, because really, like, hey, we can say, The other perception or the other side of that is you were being super resourceful in the moment. And I know some of the other women were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And two, it's like, I mean, is it like if I friggin' trained my dog with treats, like, did I fail as a dog trainer? No, the dog's trained. The dog knows how to sit now. So that's all that matters. How we got there doesn't matter. So I think sometimes it's like we go into things with, and that's what we taught, like intention and expectations. And we have like this expectation about life, how things are going to go, how things are supposed to go, and what's supposed to happen. And I think when I think before this is something I really struggled with was as beautiful as it is that I'm very creative and I'm a very like, I can daydream and I'm Delulu to the max. I
Mhm.
also can create like a vision for myself. And if it's not exactly the same, I was found that in life I was like getting disappointed because it wasn't exactly. But then if I blew it up or even like the equine therapy, I got to say, wow, I actually got a way different experience that I would have never dreamt of. And it's actually better. So,
For sure. Yeah. Something just so grounding in that whole experience and even just that moment of reflection and
mhm.
the fact that we're able to see others for who they truly are, but beyond the surface just reminds us that we're all human. We all have our challenges. And I really believe it's such an amazing part of the retreat, seeing people face their struggles and celebrate their victories, and at the same time holding space for each other. It's just something that I definitely see clients carry with themselves with themselves forward, and even myself.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
think
Oh, go ahead.
you go into the next part. I think that these retreats, this is what makes them so special. And not even just retreats in general, but just, being able to meet up with other women in general. Like we are meant to surround ourselves with other women. Um,
Mhm.
and I think just the society that we're living right now, we feel like we have to put up this like facade and like be so tough and show like, appear like we got our shit together and we're so successful. And, you know, I'm a mom and I work and I do this and I got it all, right? And in reality, like we're all struggling in one way or another. And it's beautiful that we get to just come like get together and just talk about these struggles and be real instead of feeling like we have to keep that wall up and judge one another, right? So I'm really glad that you got to experience that with these girls. It sounds honestly so amazing. And you're again, you just I admire you so much.
I admire you so much. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I think that's the other thing too with like FHK is I'm like someone was saying that someone texted them being like, do you have to be like hot to be on this retreat? And it's like everyone's like, and not it's like not about the physical. It's like everyone just like exudes confidence. Everyone's like gorgeous, everyone's smart, everyone's talented. And it's a lot of people always say that it's really hard to make friends as you move into like adulthood. And I was like, oh, well, I just made like 14 friends. So hack.
I know. And that's the thing too, is you don't need, and like this is what we want our clients to learn is that you do not need to look like a freaking bikini model coming to these retreats. That is not the point at all. We want you to get in front of that camera, whether it's a retreat or any type of photo shoot, get in front of that camera and celebrate the woman that you are standing there and how you got there. Like, no, you do not need to to look or weigh a
You don't
certain
need to come at a
number to
certain
hang out
way.
with us, please.
Come as like you just show up as yourself.
Yes.
You're doing the work, and that's what I love. And I think that's what um it's like, yeah, well, you will get the physical results. Like if you if you change your eating or you follow the eating and it's not like a strict plan and do the workouts, like your body's naturally gonna change. So
Mhm.
that's just like an added bonus, but it's like I think even like more like the internal journey.
Mhm.
For sure.
All right.
And also too, like the women supporting each other, that is our nature. That is our true nature. Women supporting women, that is to be feminine. Competition is masculine.
Hmm.
So I really like just so much love a community of where women are just like continuously uplifting each other because society has kind of pushed us into like that competition, that male brain, that male perspective.
Hmm.
And so more of this, that's all.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so we're going to dive into something a little bit deeper. Obviously, you have a career in modeling, which can have such a huge impact on a woman's sense of self-esteem and body image. So I'm going to ask you, in an industry that demands certain physical standards, how has your career shaped the way that you see yourself?
I think for me in general, this was my like Sports Illustrated like platform, and I really feel like those things um really represent me, but always feeling like I was in the middle. And I think modeling definitely, like, I am 5'7", so I am not definitely not going to be the tallest, and I'm not going to be in a petite clothing. I am like a medium. I'm not going to be plus size, and I'm not going to be a double size zero. So that's like unrealistic. And I think just kind of embracing my skin. I think the modeling industry has changed a ton in the fact that I never even thought that becoming a model was uh it wasn't a dream of mine, because I just like didn't think it was possible, and it kind of shifted. I do think one thing that I want to say to women, I think the thing that I learned about most interesting in the industry was I was told that, like, if I wanted to do more clothing, I'm definitely going to have to get padding to do clothing to be plus size. And I think as a woman seeing, um, there's certain plus size models that their face absolutely does not represent their weight. I feel like there's some people that like their face is very different. And I think that's also because they're wearing padding. And that definitely messed with my like body
Hang on,
image.
wait, what do you mean by that? Like, as in, like, they
So like,
carry their weight in their face?
yeah,
Or
they don't carry their weight. So they have a plus size, like say you have a size 20, like say I went
yeah,
and got padding for drag, like it's like the padding that drag queens use to be heavier, to be heavy set. So if I wanted to be like posing for 16 to 18,
huh?
my face right now is of a 6'8", because that's my size. So like if I was flipping through a magazine and I was like, wow, she's so curvy, and her face, like, wow, that looks amazing. Like, okay. And as a woman, I was like, oh, that does make sense, because I've seen so many people that I'm like, how would you have all that ass and no, like,
Face.
your lean face? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I feel
Yeah.
like I really kind of like, I was like, okay, that makes sense why, we're thinking in these ways about bodies. And I feel like my perception has kind of changed. I also think now it really is city dependent on for modeling, but I have made my goal. Um, I want to get paid to be myself, and whatever myself and whatever my size is, like, that's going to be enough. I've really accepted the body that I have, and I love it. So I'm not gonna, starve myself to be a size zero, and I'm not gonna gain a bunch of weight just to book. My goal in life, I will get paid to be myself in one way or another, but trying to fit in these rigid boxes. And as much as the industry has changed, like it still is very like small, large in this city versus LA. I just did a shoot with like one of the makeup artists. She mainly works in LA. She's like, oh, you do so well in LA. But that's because of brands like Skims, more diversity in bodies. There's more active wear that does like mid, just not mid-size, regular straight sizes, like, I don't know, like a size medium, because I'm also not mid-size. So I just think, I don't know if I'm answering the question.
Toronto's kind of like behind, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just more limited.
Mhm.
And I was really focused. Like in the beginning, I wasn't sure if I obviously wanted to lose weight because I didn't feel comfortable in my body, but I was like, oh, is this going to change things? And now I'm just kind of like, my career will always be good. And my goal in life is to get paid to be myself. So however that comes, it'll come. And I'm going to focus on feeling the best in my skin and being as confident, and whatever I book, I'll book.
Wow. That is so great. Like,
I'm
again,
paid to be myself. I'm going to be paid to be myself.
yeah. And
So,
like the goal, you've already achieved the goal. Like, you
yes.
do get paid to be who you are. Uh,
Yeah.
you do that. I see all the gigs that you have. They're amazing.
Yeah.
I think that is like the biggest inspiration for listeners right now, because something that we do always say is like, be content, strive for more. And yeah, just like, I don't know, I'm blown away by that. I have never even like thought about that as models. I always just think, okay, like, everyone's constantly trying to like meet this look just to get paid, because I know it's such a difficult industry to work in. It's so competitive. And again, like Elisa, you just saying like, that's not how females should be functioning. We shouldn't be competing against one another, but that's how the industry is.
Yeah, and I think too for like I felt like I was always kind of like in the middle, like not skinny enough, not big enough, not tall enough. I'm also mixed race, and I'm just like, why am I constantly trying to fit in boxes that other people like have outlined? Those are the boxes that I need to be in. Like, I'll just be myself. I got signed as a model at 30. Like, a lot of people aren't, that's when you're not like, let's start a modeling career at 30. Things are going up. Like, a lot of people are like, before you were aged out in your late 20s, you were like considered like geriatric. And so it has changed a lot, but I'm really just focusing on my relationship with myself. And the happier I am, the more things flow into my life and the more confident I am. Like, really wanted to get the brand deal for a couch. Guess where I got it? When I was in Utah. Yeah, like they emailed me on Friday. I was like, oh, of course, like of course. And my friend's like, are you gonna get a couch? Like, I was like, I have emailed the one brand I want to work with. They will work with me. And she's like, you might want to email some other people. I'm like, I'll get to it when I get home. I was like, I can last a month without a couch. And sure enough, I'm like about to get in the hair and makeup chair. I'm like, oh, they want to work with me, of course. And just the more authentic and happier I am and the positive energy I put out. And um, I think one of my superpowers in life is I'm really good at giving motivational speeches to other people. So if you ever need a pep talk, message me and I'll give you a good one. But I also need to show myself that same love. But really just I'm focused on, don't fit yourself in a box to fit other people's standards. I think it's easier said than done, but there's always ways to make money. And I just focus on that versus like trying to be this type so tight for modeling. It's like, if I don't get the job, that job wasn't meant for me, and I'm not gonna bring that energy. That is just not my job. It's not my job to have. So
Oh my gosh, thank you. That's so empowering and so necessary. Because the reality is women are constantly bombarded with messages about how they should look and even behave, especially in industries like yours. But it's crucial to find that inner strength and confidence that isn't tied to external validation. And you're doing such a great job at inspiring us today. Thank you.
thank you. You guys always inspire me. Like, the FHK account is like one of my favorite to follow because it's like always just like the motivation or inspiration that I needed. I feel like the community that is like cultivated, it's just such a reflection of you, Elisa, for founding it, and the coaches. Like, it's just the best people find this group, and it's not really a coincidence. It's because of like your guys' energy, and I'm just like always inspired. So yeah, I'm like so grateful to be a part and like to have that like family support system in my pocket in the group chat. It's like always probably very quiet. Like, if you meet me, you're like, she never shuts up. But in a group chat, I'm like always like, I'm reading, but I'm always not like, I'll like weigh in very. So that's one of my goals, to be
Yeah, you
better.
don't chat that much in the chat, but in person.
No, I need to be better. It's something I'm working on, but I'm always just like inspired. So
Well, just a quick shout out for Mel Manuka Sunday. She does such a great job at capturing the essence of like what we want
yes.
FHC to be, and like just even the essence of the community and the chat, and in a way that I would, I am no content creator, in a way that I would never be able to do. So I'm so glad that that gets across. And I just, yeah, a little shout out for her. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
she's so talented and amazing. We're literally like on this trip and like real, real, real. I'm like, what is she doing on that phone over there? She is
Yeah.
editing, posting, like she's killing it. So
Yeah, she was pumping and using two cameras. It was crazy.
yeah, like working mom,
Literally,
literally.
literally. Yeah. But having the best time. It's great
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are just about to wrap this up. I want to do quick little rapid truths or yeah, Binta
Yeah.
truths.
Love that. Go for it, Elisa.
All right, quick rapid fire. Your go-to confidence booster when you're feeling off.
A podcast.
Okay, wait, which podcast?
I feel like Mel Robbins can be a little bit long, but she's great. I feel like even just like the little mini intros.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. Note to Self is another one, the FHK podcast. But those three, I feel like the Hot Smart Rich as well. I just feel like listening to, I think one of the things when I'm feeling down, sometimes I feel like it's just me feeling this way, and it's never that way. So many other people are experiencing the same emotions, and that's what I keep saying. What I loved about equine therapy, because sometimes I'm like, "Is there something wrong with me? Am I broken? Why do I have these thoughts?" And it's like, no, everyone feels like they have to fake it till they make it. Everyone's not, maybe has an off day. Everyone has days where they doubt themselves, and that's totally okay. It's all about coming back, reps. Like I feel like my biggest thing for growth is like before maybe it was like this long before I would come back. Now it's like this. It's like, okay, yeah, you can have that thought, back at it.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Just that awareness and be able to, my mentor says, drop it like it's hot and then pick something up.
Okay, yeah, I had that. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. One piece of advice you'd give to women starting their own self-love journey.
It's never about the destination, it's always about the journey.
Okay. What's something that helps you stay grounded during stressful times?
Walking.
Walking? Love it.
Walking, probably listening to a podcast. I have a dog, so going for a walk with my dog, like whenever I'm like, I just need to move. And now also working out. Like sometimes I'm like, I just need to like get a workout, go for a walk, move my body. I'm like, okay, I feel good. I'm in my body. I'm aware. I'm present. And after it.
This is so good. And I just want to add on one thing is Binta is like me. Like we were not like gym people
Yeah.
prior to adopting this lifestyle. So if anyone
Yeah.
this and feels like you need to have a background, we love beginners. Beginners are my favorite, or even like girly girls because
I feel like everybody always says like this is like the one thing too about like joining is you don't have to work. Like before I used to work out, everyone always says like you're working out like 5 days a week doing all these ludicrous things. It's like you don't have to do that. You can actually have 3 very effective workouts and look amazing. Proof is in the pudding. Like you guys, clients, like myself, it's like my body's changed so much, even from like doing a million hit classes, all this stuff that I was like, I hate working out. And now I really enjoy it. I love seeing how strong I can get. And yeah, I love going to the gym. I feel like a tip from you, Elisa, was like getting ready to go to the gym. And that really changed my mindset of like, put in that little effort. And I'm like, oh, I'm excited. Like it was good versus before I was just like schlepping on an old shirt or rolling down to my condo gym. And I'm like, I hate my life. I hate this.
that makes
The gym is like you need to like doll up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, put on a new outfit or like
Yeah.
put on some like highlighter to just brighten your day up a bit. And then you just feel
Yeah.
better because you're looking at yourself in the mirror and I don't know.
And I
That's
never used to invest in gym clothes. Like I was kind of just like, these are the clothes you sweat in. And now I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, I got a new set. I got a new pair of shoes. I'm so excited.
And one of the things I like about training this way too is because when I used to, do hit cross whatever else I was doing in my past, I would get so gross and sweaty. But I
Mhm.
don't. And I
No,
love that. So I can pull myself together a little bit and wear something that doesn't need to like,
suction to your body.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's another bonus. Okay, last question. What's one thing you do now that you wish you had done sooner?
I think started.
I
I
love
Yeah, I think one thing I really wish that, I mean, it's a journey and I don't regret changing it. Like it is my journey, but I really just wish I was like, showed myself a little more compassion about where I was at rather than feeling like guilty or embarrassed. And that's one thing I show myself now is like just being more compassionate with myself. Like if you don't make it to a workout one week, like is not like, yeah, you have your workout scheduled, but if you don't make it, like the world is not going to burn down. You're not a loser. And now I show myself compassion, like, okay, didn't make it. That's fine. What are we doing tomorrow? We're going to the gym. We're going to get this in. What are we eating? We're back on we're on our grind. And I think just before I was like not showing myself compassion. And so it was like hindering me and like starting, like I kept being like, diet starts Monday. It's like, no, just keep
Next 24 hours, 24
yeah,
hours.
like just keep rolling with it. And like, that's life. And you can't plan as much as we like to plan and organize. Things happen. That's okay. How do we evolve and move?
I love it.
All right. Well, I think that comes to an end of this episode. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your beautiful journey.
Thank you
If
guys so
you're
much
feeling-
for having me.
But yeah, if you're feeling like inspired by Binta's story and want to be part of something life-changing, just head over to our Insta page, DMs, whatever it is. We're, like I always say, we're always here to listen.
And follow Binta for Outfit Inspo. We'll put her handle in the show notes. And thank you again, Binta. Thank you for listening. If you're listening, don't forget to like, review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. We'll be back next week with more real stories and no BS guidance to help you become your best self. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.